everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today is Tuesday and I already told y'all what that was going to mean. That means it's going to be Talks with Temaryia today. So today's topic, I wanted to start off with something like real nice and sweet, short and sweet and simple, and I just wanted to talk about journey into womanhood. Like, I feel like as you get older and as you start growing up, you gotta start, you start stepping into your womanhood, and I just want to talk about that. Like, let's just talk about that. Let's just talk about it. So, for number one, well, not number one, but I have a few topics, main subtopics that I wanted to cover. Mainly just a few subtopics that I wanted to cover. So the first one we're going to start with is setting boundaries. I feel like it's important as you're, as you're getting older and stepping into your womanhood. I'm 19 years old. I'm getting there. And I feel like, an important thing to do is to set boundaries with people. Because I feel like in this time, in this area, in this cycle of your life, I feel like you're growing a lot, you're learning a lot, learning about yourself, learning about just everything. And I feel like if you don't set boundaries with people, they can kind of like inhibit that growth, you know what I'm saying? Because you'll be too busy trying to please them, or you'll be too busy saying yes, or too busy trying to help them out that you're not helping yourself and that you're not growing. So I feel like setting boundaries is a very important thing to do when you're trying to grow it within yourself and learn yourself. It definitely is easier said than done. It took me a while. I want to say, yeah, it took me a little bit to try to set my boundaries, and just start saying no sometimes. Like, I feel like sometimes I know a lot of people out there are like people pleasers, or a lot of people out there are like just hard to say no, especially to the ones that they love and stuff. But I feel like when you're trying to, you're trying to, I wouldn't say break away, but when you're trying to, just build something for yourself and just make something out of yourself, you have to say no sometimes. Because sometimes saying yes and trying to do whatever that person wants you to do, or whatever the case may be, might be overstretching what you can do, and stressing you out, and just creating unnecessary stress that doesn't need to be there. So I feel like it definitely is easier said than done, but the more that you do it, the easier that it get. And I'm not saying just be mean with it, just be like, no. But just because somebody say jump, don't jump. Sorry, I can't do that right now, or sorry, I won't be able to come to that, or sorry, we can't talk today, maybe tomorrow, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, just set your boundaries so you have time for you, and you're not just always jump into, the help of somebody else, and jump into somebody else's rescue when you yourself need rescue. And that's something that I had to learn too, because I was a person that, always try to say yes, and it's always just try to make sure everybody else around me was happy. And it kind of, stressed me out a little bit. I was a little overwhelmed trying to please everybody else, and then still make sure I did what I did and I was still happy. And it was stressful. It was stressful, and it was overwhelming, and it was exhausting. So I feel like step number one into stepping into your womanhood is setting boundaries with everybody. Just, if you can't do it, you can't do it. If you don't got it, you don't got it. If you don't got time, you just don't got the time. And then just that, you gotta surround yourself with people that understand that as well, not somebody that's gonna get mad because you said no. Like, just not today, or not this week, maybe next week, or whatever the case may be. So setting boundaries is very, very, very important. I like my accent. Because, yeah, you can't be overexerting yourself for certain situations and certain things. I know you may love the person that you're trying to do it for, or whatever the case may be, but at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. And sometimes that's just saying no, and just saying that you can't do that right now. And it's really that simple. Like, but I know it's easier said than done. But the more, like I said, the more you do it, the better, the better you're going to get at it. I just be like, I can't do it right now, or, I see, or, maybe next week, or next weekend or whatever the case may be. You know, it's just sometimes you just can't do it. No matter how much you want to do it, you got to think about yourself and put yourself first. So yes, setting boundaries is very important for your personal growth as well, because if you overwhelmed and you overexerting yourself for everyone around you, when would you have time to focus on yourself? When would you have time to do things that you want to do to make you happy, or things that you need to do? Like, you wouldn't have no time, literally. So setting boundaries is very, very important. Okay, for the second thing I want to talk about time management. I feel like as a young woman or young adolescent, however y'all want to classify it, I feel like time management is also important, because when you're young, you want to do everything. Well, I don't know if that goes for everybody, but I know me, I want to conquer the world. Like, I want to conquer the world. I'm only 19 years old. I feel like time management is very important, because I feel like as a young woman, you know, growing up, I feel like that is very important to, like, be productive in your everyday life. Like, you know what I'm saying? And yes, it's good to have rest days and days that you could just relax and just breathe. But then I also feel like it shouldn't get to a point where, you know, you procrastinated to do things and procrastinate to get things done and you can't get things done. Like, yes, take time out for yourself to relax and breathe. But, you know what I'm saying? Also, don't let that fall into, like, laziness where you're just not doing nothing. Because life is short. You know what I'm saying? You're only going to be young for so long. And not saying that when you get older, you can't do the stuff that you want to do. But I feel like it's important to kind of, like, map out and just, you know, do the things that you have to do. Even if that comes down to being productive in your everyday life, that'll help you in the long run. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm speaking more towards, like, my personal experience is, like, just say for instance, just with college and nursing school. Like, I do something every day. Well, no, not every day, but okay, so I have a to-do list with all the work that I got to do for the month, and I have, like, this day I'm going to do this day I'm going to do this day I'm not going to do nothing, okay, this day I'm going to do this assignment, this day I'm going to do this, okay, this day I'm not going to have nothing. And my assignments be done, like, a week ahead in advance. Like, I don't even play like that, like, you know what I'm saying? Because why procrastinate and why wait when you could just literally do it when you're not doing nothing but watching TV? So I feel like time management is important, not only just with school, but just, like, with everything. Like, and, all right, I'm going to take me for example. Like, I had to go to the doctor recently. And I kept pushing off. And I finally was just like, no, let me take this time out to go to this doctor and figure out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you have to make time for the things that you need to do, and you have to put time aside, you know what I'm saying, and just make your day as, like, the most productive that you can. Now, the days you have rest days, just rest. Like, literally, you be on the couch all day and rest. You know what I'm saying? That's understandable. But the days, you know, when those are not rest days, I feel like those days should be as most productive as they can be. Fit everything that you can fit in that day. You know, not to where you're doing too much, but do the most. Like, do the most that you can in that day. Why waste time? Why waste hours and minutes? You know what I'm saying? So time management, I feel like it's important, because just be getting stuff done. Just be doing stuff. And it don't even got to be productive stuff. Like, okay, you go to work, come home, go to the gym, come home, journal, cook dinner, whatever. Boom, that's your day. Instead of just, I don't even know how to put it. Like, instead of just, you know, I just feel like you should make your day as most productive as you can and utilize all the time, because we don't got a lot. If that makes sense. That's really all I'm saying, to sum it up and put it in some very simple words. Is utilize the time that we have, because we do not have a lot. And do everything that you can. Everything that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, be productive. You got things to do. Don't procrastinate. Just get them done. Just get them done. You know what I'm saying? Just do what you got to do. Period. Okay, so the third thing I want to talk about is self-maintenance. I feel like as a young woman, self-maintenance is very important, because hair to press is a such thing. just not cute depressed. It's like true, like it's real, like it's real. Like when my hair is not done, I be like, oh my god, I'm so ugly, like I don't know how to explain it, but y'all take time out to invest in yourself and in your, you know, in your appearance and in your maintenance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, if you like spa days, okay, do a spa day once a week, or you know, if you're on the budget, once a month. If you like massages, get a massage once a month or something like that. Like for me, I always try to keep my hair done. If I don't get my hair done, then I'll do it myself. Like, I'll do it myself. I'll whip something up, something where I feel cute and I be feeling myself in. But, you know what I'm saying, with my nails, since I've been in nursing school, you know, you gotta cut back on some, you gotta cut back on some expenses when you in nursing school. But I learned how to do my nails myself. I got a $25 kit, a gel X kit from Amazon, got the drill, the tips and everything, and I do my nails myself like every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks. Like, I let them grow out a little bit. Because it's a long, nice little process to soak them off and do a new set. But I do my nails myself because I know that nails, they make me feel good. They make me feel pretty. And, okay, I can't go to the nail salon as much as I want. Okay, so I'm going to do them at home. Same thing with my hair. If I can get my hair done, the only time I really get my hair done is a silk press or braids. Any other hairstyle that y'all have probably ever seen me with, even on my Instagram, even wigs, install frontals, I did it myself. Like, because, you know, sometimes you just don't, you know, you don't have the time or you don't have the money, and it's just that simple. So the only time I really get my hair done is braids and a silk press. Any other hairstyle, I promise y'all, any hairstyle that y'all ever saw me with, I've done it myself. Because I refuse to be hair depressed. Like, I refuse. I refuse. Because I just refuse. Like I said, my nails I do myself. If you got money, go to nail salon, or go to nail salon, period. But right now, like I said, I'm in nursing school, so I'm going to do my nails myself. Lashes, I either throw on some strips or I do my lash extensions myself. I don't do individuals, I do clusters. Like, you know, when you put the glue on the cluster. I think I got a YouTube video. Y'all should go down and watch it and y'all see. That was the first YouTube video I did though with my lashes. And I have gotten so much better at doing my individual lashes since that video. So if y'all want to see a more updated video, y'all can go to my TikTok. And I got a video where I was getting ready for a trip. And I did my own lashes. I was in the bathroom wearing a blue shirt, if y'all want to know. Yeah. So yeah, I learned how to do my own clusters myself. Like I said, I got a YouTube video on that. And I just go in the bathroom, get me some little cluster lashes from Sally's or from the beauty supply store. Boom, 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 boom. You have individual lashes. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm got so good at it take me like 10 minutes to do both eyes, you know. So, you know, so you ain't got $150, $100-something to get your lashes done. You know, and then $60 every 2 weeks. Learn how to do them yourself. Or like I said, throw some strips. Sometimes I just throw in some strips too when I don't feel like dealing with all that. Do my own toes too. With the gel X kit, I be doing my little gel toes to match my nails. Self-maintenance is important because when you look good, you feel good. And you know what I'm saying? When you look good, you feel good. You at your best performance. You most confident. You know, high self-esteem. And you just like, yeah, like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. And that's all it needs to be. That's it. So self-maintenance is important. Whatever y'all do to make yourself look good and feel good, take the time out to do that. Whether it's going shopping, whether it's going to the spa, getting a massage, like I said, getting your nails done, getting your hair done. You know what I'm saying? Take the time out to do that stuff and invest in how you look. I be seeing a whole lot of Facebook posts like, yeah, y'all don't be seeing me, you know, dressed up because I'm hustling and I'm grinding. But when I pop out, I pop out. And that's true. Because sometimes I'll be looking rough too. But when you learn how to do stuff yourself, you know what I'm saying? You know, hustling and grinding really don't necessarily mean you don't got to look cute while doing it. Because, okay, we hustling and grinding trying to get to the money, which means I probably don't have the money to do what I want to do, so I'm going to look rough. No, just learn how to invest in yourself sometimes, too. Everything don't have to be going to the shop and do it, you know what I'm saying, paying money and stuff. So you can definitely look cute while you grinding, girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gotta be looking rough, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like self-maintenance is important. Take the time out to do what makes you feel good, what makes you, you know, look good, feel good, and be at your highest self. So yes, that's important. So the fourth topic, am I number 4? Yes, the fourth topic is self-care. And it kind of ties into what I was just talking about, but not really, because what I was just talking about was more like your outer appearance, self-maintenance, or just like making you feel good on the outside. Let's get deep. Now we're talking about the inside. So self-care, you know, so I feel like self-care is important, and I just feel like, you know, as you're transitioning into womanhood and transitioning into, you know, to be an adult woman, I feel like self-care and taking care of your inner self is just as important as everything else I've been talking about. This probably should have been number 1. But like for me, for my self-care, I journal. I just picked up journaling not too long ago, and it's really, really nice, y'all. And I'm trying to get into the habit of journaling every day, but I don't be having stuff to talk about every day. Like, you know, journaling is just however you want to do it. You don't have to journal every day if you don't want to journal every day. I probably journal maybe every 2 weeks. Or I journal right then on that spot if I'm feeling a really strong emotion or something. But I don't journal every day. I don't have anything to talk about work was good. Like, I don't know. I don't journal every day. That's just not how I journal. Maybe I get there, but it's not mandatory for you to journal every day. Like I said, I journal every 2 weeks, like a check-in. Like if there's nothing going on, I'll do a check-in every 2 weeks or something, every week. And like I said, unless I'm feeling like some kind of strong emotion right then and there, and I need to release it, okay, then I journal. So yes, for journaling for me, it's kind of like my self-care, because, you know, I write how I feel on paper. I don't read it back. I probably read like years down the line, but I don't read it back. I just write how I feel and just put it on a piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? I might dwell on the feelings a little bit, but not to the point where I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to explain it. I just vent. And instead of venting to somebody else, or, you know, because some people don't feel like putting their problems on other people, or somebody feel like don't really care to vent to other people, but you gotta deal with that emotion somehow. And I feel like a healthy outlet would be journaling. Because, okay, you don't feel like journaling, you don't feel like venting to somebody, okay, vent to the paper. Literally, vent to the book. And that's literally you. That's a reflection of you. You venting to yourself, but you also letting that emotion out and letting those feelings out so they're not bottled up and building up. So that's just an example of, you know, something I do for self-care. Another thing for self-care could be like just any hobby that you like to do. Any kind of healthy outlet is self-care. Like going to the gym. That's where I'm about to go once I'm done recording this video. Going to the gym. Some people like going to the gym. Some people go for a jog. Some people crochet. Some people, I don't know, write poems. Whatever healthy outlet or healthy hobby or, you know, whatever you do, do it. Because I feel like when you're doing something that you truly enjoy, I feel like that's when you're taking care of yourself. That's your time to yourself to indulge in whatever that activity is and just be free and just, you know what I'm saying, and just let it go. So everybody outlet is different, but I suggest if you don't have an outlet to find one. I didn't have an outlet. And in the past, I would bottle my emotions up, and one day they'll just explode, and I'm just sitting in the room crying, listening to, what do I be listening to? Unsteady by Ambassadors, because it just make you cry. So, but now I journal. So I remember one day I was feeling like very overwhelmed and just so stressed. I don't even remember what it was about, but I just went and journaled, let it all out on paper, and I felt better. Like, I legitimately felt better. Even self-care could be praying. Like, if, you know, if whatever, you know, religion, if you're Christian or Muslim or whatever the case may be, if praying is your outlet and that's how you do your self-care and getting in your word, you know what I'm saying, then it too. Dancing, that's it too. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like self-care is whatever you do that make you feel good on the inside. I'm not talking about hair and lashes and nails no more. Whatever you do that make you feel good internally, whether that's journaling or whatever the case may be, like I listed. And yeah, so I feel like self-care is important because you have to deal with your inside too. Not only just your appearance, but you have to deal with your mental and your heart and your emotions and your feelings. I feel like at this age and at this time when we're transitioning from teens to 20s and adolescence to adulthood, I feel like we feel a lot of big feelings. And sometimes we don't know how to navigate it. And sometimes we don't know how to deal with it. So I feel like having a hobby that you enjoy or having some kind of outlet that you enjoy, you know, that will help you, I wouldn't say escape from it, but that will help you deal with it, do it. Like I said, mine is journaling. And when I journal, I feel good. So, yeah. Okay. And for my last one, mental growth. Mental growth is a pretty big one too. I feel like I said before, kind of like as you're transitioning, you know, you starting this journey, because some of you guys watching might already be, you know, well into your journey of womanhood, which doesn't mean that you can't take heed to my advice. You know, these are just things that I feel like is important as me, someone who's, you know, fairly new into transitioning, is utilizing and is working, you know. So my last one, I would say mental growth. I feel like with transition, I feel like mental growth is very important because you're changing your mental from teenage, adolescent kind of thing to, like, you know, adult. Like, so I feel like that's a pretty good shift, a pretty big shift in mentality. But I also think that it's something that people should focus on more. And I'm not trying to bash anybody or anything like that. You know, everybody grows and develops at their own pace and things like that. But I just feel like when you're transitioning from that adolescence, I feel like it's important to deal with, you know, and deal with them when you feel like you're ready, though. There's no time limit on when to deal with them, but you should be starting to deal with them, or at least thinking about dealing with them. Because, and I'm referencing like traumas, childhood traumas, past traumas, you know what I'm saying, past relationships and things like that. And that's going to be like a continuous kind of mental growth. Like, you're never going to just be done growing mentally. You will have to continually change the way that you think and continually change your mentality with your everyday life. Like, that's something that's going to shift. Excuse me. That's something that's going to shift all the time. But I feel like, you know, it'll just, to deal with that, because the way that you deal with traumas and the way that you deal with, you know, past things or just past hurts and stuff like that, that affects how you move forward in life. And if you don't ever deal with it, it can possibly hold you back from whatever, you know, however you're trying to move forward. Now, I'm not telling you how to deal with it. People deal with their traumas and, you know, things differently. Some people get therapists, which is fine. I wish I had a therapist, honestly. I'm actually actively trying to find one. But, yeah, people deal with their traumas differently. And I don't think it's a set way on how to deal with them. But I do think that you should deal with them, because traumas and past situations and stuff definitely affects your relationships, interpersonal relationships, friendships, just your everyday interaction with people. So I don't know if I'm not gonna get too deep in that, but I just feel like because I said that's something that's gonna always be, there's gonna be constantly a revolving door, always upgrading and changing your mentality. But I also think that it's something that we should work on as we're transitioning, because we're just getting older. We're getting older. We're trying to move. We're trying to go towards something. We're trying to reach goals, and we can't be having negativity hold us back. You know what I'm saying? And okay, it's going to hold y'all back to a certain extent. You're going to have to deal with it in certain ways, and maybe depending on how severe the trauma is, it can come back up later down the line. And you know, all of that is fine. That's just the human body and the human feelings and stuff like that. But I do think that dealing with those and acknowledging those, definitely acknowledging that you have things that you need to grow from and, you know what I'm saying, work on, is definitely the first step. So I'm not going to get too deep into mental growth because, like I said, that's just something that's going to keep going. But I think that it's important that we acknowledge that we have these traumas and that we have these things going on that's affecting how we move every day. And once we acknowledge them, then we can work on, you know what I'm saying, we can work on getting past them, or at least dealing with them or coping with them, or whatever the case may be. But that's pretty much it for now. Like I said, I didn't want to get too deep in the mental growth kind of thing. I feel like that probably could be a video in itself if y'all want me to, you know, further indulge in that. And you know what I'm saying? And if you have anything to say to this video, definitely comment down below and I'll definitely respond in the comments. But that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, this is Talks with Temaryia, and I just wanted to touch on, you know, the journey and transitioning into womanhood, because I myself is doing that same thing. And like I said, I was going to keep it short and simple and sweet. But definitely look forward to more videos like this. Definitely tune in next Tuesday. Like I said, it's going to become an everyday thing. Like I said, drop topics and stuff that you would like to hear, that you would like me to talk about and talk on. And, you know, thank you guys for watching as always.